Hello everyone. I'm going to present the topic Parkinson's disease. Firstly, I would like to thank Physiocon for giving us this opportunity to showcase our skills through this medium. I'm going to present a brief outline on Parkinson's disease and its management. This disease was discovered by Dr. James Parkinson. It is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder. That means it becomes worse over the time. The synonyms for this disease are shaking palsy, hypokinetic rigid syndrome. There is no definite cause for the disease. Most of the patients are middle aged, average age is around 56 or 50, and men are more prone to get this disease than women. The youngest recorded case in history was of a 12-year-old patient. The cause is unknown, but there are certain risk factors that contribute to the disease. They are genetic and environmental factors. Presence of these gene mutations are also a reason for Parkinson's disease. The gene synuclein is more important in Parkinson's disease because this gene encodes the protein alpha-synuclein. Alpha-synuclein is the main compound in the Lewy bodies that gets accumulated in the brain of people with Parkinson's disease. The secondary causes are drug-induced Parkinsonism, that is long-term use of valproic acid, which is an anti-epileptic, and other antipsychotics. Vascular disease, infections like post-encephalitis or HIV. These secondary causes does not cause this disease directly, but are indirect factors contributing to the disease. Now coming to the pathophysiology of the disease, or in simple terms, the disease process. All the major pathways are affected in this disease. They are motor, oculomotor, associative, limbic, and orbitofrontal. In this condition, the dopamine releasing neurons degenerate in the substantia nigra area of the brain, and these cells die. Up to 70% of the neurons or nerve cells are affected in the patient's lifetime. This dopamine is a hormone and also a neurotransmitter. The function of a neurotransmitter is to send signals to the other cells of the brain. The function of dopamine is motor control, motivation, arousal, regulating the reward motivated pathway. Here, reward in the sense the ability to feel pleasure or feeling rewarded. So the neurons that secrete this dopamine are called as dopaminergic neurons. In Parkinson's, these neurons are affected and they degenerate. As you can see in the picture above, substantia nigra is a small area in the midbrain that forms component of basal ganglia. Now again, this has two parts called as pars compacta and pars reticulata. The dopaminergic neurons are found mainly in the pars compacta area. Lewy bodies are made up of alpha-synuclein. When they build up inside the brain, they keep your brain from making right amount of important chemicals. Example is acetylcholine, which affects memory and ability to learn. It also disrupts dopa production. As you can see in the histopathology slide that I have attached here, the substantia nigra becomes pale in people with PD, and also there are Lewy bodies. Now coming to the clinical features of that condition, the cardinal features are tremor, rigidity, bradykinesia, postural instability. These four are the main classical symptoms of this condition. The tremors are of pill rolling type. It is an early sign in the disease. It begins unilaterally in the upper limb and then later spreads to all the four limbs. As you can see here in the video, the tremor looks like pill rolling. Rigidity affects flexors of neck, trunk, and limbs. It results in flexed or bent posture. Bradykinesia, this means slowness of movements. It affects the facial muscles, and this leads to a mask-like face or expressionless face because the muscles take longer than normal to move. It also affects mastication, speech, trunk and limbs, and voluntary swallowing. The other features you can see is micrographia, that is reduction in handwriting size. As you can see in the image, there was a decrease of 5% every year in the handwriting of this patient. This is also common in some other conditions such as after stroke. The gait is shuffling or festinant. In this, the patient walks short steps. Excessive sweating, REM sleep behavior disorder, constipation, and postural hypotension. Depression occurs in more than 50% of the patients. For diagnosis, careful medical history and neurological examination is necessary. Presence of Lewy bodies in midbrain on postmortem or autopsy is final proof of Parkinson's. As per the widely used criteria, at least three major clinical features should be present in the patient to confirm the diagnosis. Response to levodopa over time, like around 5 years or 3 years, also helps in diagnosis. We should also rule out the conditions that mimics Parkinson's disease. On MRI, we can see the presence of absent swallowtail sign. In this condition, the swallowtail sign is absent. As you can see in the above MRI, CT scan is usually normal. This is the reference to understand what is absent swallowtail sign. As you can see in the image 1A, there is clear differentiation between the swallowtail and image in the 1B, how a Parkinson's patient MRI looks like. Another important method is a SPECT scan, which shows the metabolic activity of dopamine in the basal ganglia. A neuroimaging drug is injected into the patient's vein via a cannula few hours before the test. This can be compared to the same procedure as in MRI contrast studies where gadolinium is injected into the vein. To evaluate the severity and stage of the disease, these two scales are used. The treatment involves a team approach to treat the disease. There is no cure, but the condition can be managed, and it is not very fatal if early intervention and treatment is taken properly. The treatment is symptomatic. The motor symptoms are due to reduced dopamine production in the basal ganglia. The dopamine does not cross the blood-brain barrier, so precursor or a replacement for that is given in the form of levodopa that boosts the dopamine production. By getting converted into dopamine, it helps in temporary control of motor symptoms. Only 5 to 10% of levodopa can cross the blood-brain barrier. The remaining of it gets metabolized to dopamine elsewhere in the body, which will lead to side effects such as nausea or vomitings. For this, a drug called as carbidopa is used. It does not crosses the blood-brain barrier. It inhibits conversion of levodopa to dopamine outside the brain. So this helps in reduction of the side effects and increases the passage for levodopa into the brain. It is combined with the levodopa in the same pill. Long-term levodopa can cause side effects such as dyskinesia. There are many surgical procedures available for this, but deep brain stimulation is widely used because it has fewer risks. Deep brain stimulation is a common surgical procedure in Parkinson's. It is a neurosurgical procedure that involves placement of a device called as neurostimulator. It sends electrical impulses through the implanted electrodes to specific targets in the brain for the treatment of several movement disorders, including Parkinson's. The physiotherapy management focuses on improving the quality of life and maintain maximum mobility of the patient. These are the key aims of physiotherapy in Parkinson's. The assessment of the patient is very necessary to design a protocol. Regular physical exercise is very necessary in these patients. At least 2 to 3 hours of exercise per week is recommended. It results in a better outcome and also stops the degenerative process of the disease. These exercises should be preferably performed 45 minutes after the patient takes medicine, as the patient will be in the on mode or active mode after taking medication. There should be main focus on breathing exercises to improve vital capacity. This can be done by using simple procedures such as incentive spirometry or balloon blowing. PNF techniques to improve coordination. Even coordination tests can be used as coordination exercises to improve coordination of the patient. As there is bent posture or flexed posture, trunk mobility exercises and stretching should be done. Group muscle strengthening for core and muscles involved in lower limbs should be done to maintain proper posture and balance. The bent posture causes respiratory dysfunction, so breathing exercises should be encouraged. Visual cues on the floor to improve step length and encourage large steps. Mirror therapy can be used for visual feedback. The patient should be asked to walk towards the mirror so that he can see himself how he is walking and he can correct himself by the means of visual feedback. Break down the complex tasks into simple ones to make it easy for the patient to involve in activities. Even slight physical activity is better than no activity. Improved physical activity improves the outcome of the patient and his quality of life. Also, it will slow down the degenerative process and also maintains the cardiovascular fitness of the patient. Any physical activity is encouraged. Even standing leads to static stretching. The patient can involve in sports like badminton, golf, or should follow his hobbies to keep himself active. Here are some of the basic exercises that a patient can do. LVST is another popular method of treating the patients. Supportive devices can be used to aid in daily living of the patient. When it comes to nutrition, a high calorie, low protein diet is recommended because a high protein diet will reduce the effectivity of levodopa. Early intervention and proper treatment improves the patient's quality of life and outcome. Use of levodopa increases the survival by 5 years, and majority of the patients die due to cardiovascular complications. This is why physical activity is very important to preserve cardiovascular function, not only in Parkinson's but also in other neurological conditions. 11th April has been declared as World Parkinson's Day, and the logo is a red tulip. Notable cases are famous boxer Muhammad Ali, who is known as the most famous person with Parkinson's disease, actor James Fox, who is well known for being the voice behind Stuart Little, and former American President George Bush. I hope you guys like the video and find this informative. Thank you.